is my new horse. Her name is Piper. She's a 6-year-old Appaloosa POA pony. She's not been started yet. All she's been doing is she's been saddled, she's been in the round pen, and then just basic trimming, brushing kind of thing. So we're just gonna video all her progress here, and this is gonna be my first colt starting video, so hopefully we'll get to show you a lot. So she doesn't love to stand still while I desensitize her, as you can see. Right now she's doing good, so I'm just gonna wait for her to stand still, relax a little bit. So I'm looking for her to blink her eyes here. And there she goes, and I rub her to reward her. Gonna get her calmed down a little bit more. This is the first time she's ever been up in this round pen, and she lives the other direction, like south of here, so she's distracted. She's never been off the property that she came from before she got here. She was born there, so there's a lot of new things, so that doesn't help her not wanting to stand still. So that's good. So first off, I'm looking for her just to stand. There, she pushed in my space. I'm gonna get after her a bit. So I want her to stand, and then I want her to stop flinching if she's flinching, and then if she's not flinching, I want her to blink her eye. She's not paying attention, so I'm gonna bump softly. I'm gonna bump harder till she comes back to me. So it's a little bit of a multitask here. She does not want to pay attention, but she's gonna have to. She only gets work for a couple hours a day. The rest of the time is her time. So I'm just gonna keep going. I want to start on the withers, and then I'm gonna work my way down her back onto her hindquarters. And she's telling me here that she's not really afraid of the rope. She's more distracted / nervous of the environment, and she just wants to move around. So, and you'll see she'll stop here every time facing that direction. There's horses over there. She keeps looking over there. That's fine. I'll let her stop as long as she stops. Doesn't matter. So I'm gonna wait for her here. She started moving. Wait till she stops. When she stops, I'll stop. And then for a horse that's distracted and kind of nervous like she is, I like to go in and rub her until she blinks after I do the desensitizing, and that just adds another layer of desensitizing, gets her to chill out a bit more. I do it less with the horses that are more laid back and calm, so you wouldn't see that with Storm and with Winslow, so it's a good opportunity to see that here. So I felt like she was okay on her hindquarters, so I'm gonna move on to her like hock area. She thought about moving there, and I kept going, and then she stopped, so I'll reward her and rub on her. Softly pull, and then I'm going to pull harder. Go back to desensitizing her. Every time she moves off, I start desensitizing again. If she has time to move, I have time to desensitize her. There she blinked. She's flinching though, so even if she blinks, I want to keep going if she's flinching. A flinch is as good as walking around. She's not completely relaxed, so I'm gonna rub her until she blinks. And when I rub her there, I want to have one hand rubbing her, and the opposite hand I want my lead rope so I can bring her back to me. Because you don't want to rub her and then let go while she's distracted. I'll reward her for the wrong thing. Very good. Not too bad for her first time. I feel like she gets worse as we go on because I've done a few things with her this time. Which is totally normal. They get worse before they get better. To really bring her back here because she was just didn't even care I was there. She was really distracted. So I moved on from her hind legs to her front legs. Her legs really don't bother her. You can pretty much do whatever you want to her legs, which is nice. There she blinks, I'll reward her. Over till she blinks again. I really want her to keep her head fairly straight. And then I want to end by just kind of tossing it up over her back, and then I'll do her head and her neck. And here, she's not reacting as much as she does further on because she is so distracted. She's not really paying attention as much to what I'm doing. So that's why you don't want to do these lessons just one time. You want to really get the horse understanding of what you want. She's thinking about it. Good. I want to keep her head straight. I want to position myself right by her shoulder. I'm going to keep about my arm's length away from her. That's the safest place you're gonna be. I don't want her to eat grass. She can put her head down. As soon as she eats the grass, I'm gonna bump on her face. Change sides here. You need to do both sides every time. Start again on her withers here. She didn't want to, she stood still, but she didn't want to blink, so I'm just gonna do it. And then she wanted to walk around, so I'll stop when she walks around. There she blinks, so I'll stop rubbing, start again. There are gonna be a few times where I miss her blinking, but I can't see everything at once, so it's okay. She'll still turn out to be a good horse. It's all right. I want to try and get them as much as possible, though. It's a little hard to hold her and toss the rope and make sure she's not flinching and watch for her to blink. So, but for the most part, I get them. Don't want her in my space. Keep my hand up. Push her out of my way. And you want to just keep on going. So I keep my right hand here and I kind of bump her nose toward me. So I don't want her running me over. She stopped. I stopped. Start again. So she stands still, but she was flinching there. There we go. I'm gonna rub her face till she blinks. I'll let her put her head down. Second she grabs the grass, I'm gonna bump on her face. So like, you can put your head down, but you're not gonna eat grass. Just move down a little bit further on her back here. If you don't hit the same spot every time, don't worry about it. It's fine. Just try and keep the same area. Stop her. And she's gonna, you'll notice she stops all the time facing this way. It's totally fine. I will take that in the beginning. I just want her to stop. I rub her till she blinks. And that just kind of builds in more of that relaxation there. So when I start desensitizing her with the rope while she's staying still and she stays standing still, the reason I don't stop is because I'm waiting for her to blink. So I'm always waiting for another sign of relaxation. I want her to be more relaxed with ending with the rope than she started with. So there she blinked and stopped, but then she moved off, so I'm going to go right back to doing it. And it helps if you start off this lesson on an older horse, one that you know isn't going to rack quite this much because she moves around a lot. So if you were starting, it'd be hard to toss with the same consistency in the same place while still holding her in the correct position. So that's just a good idea to start with. She's probably the worst one I've had as far as standing still doing this. But she's not super reactive. She isn't trying to run away or rear or anything horrible, so she'll get over it. Just takes time. I've moved down here on her hindquarters. She didn't love the hindquarters. She's been in the round pen and she's kind of been just chased around in the round pen, so she thinks I'm asking her to go forward here, and I'm just gonna convince her otherwise. There she stops, so I stop. I'm gonna rub her till she blinks. There she goes. And when I do rub her, I do want her face to stay fairly straight. I don't want her staring off the other way. If she does that, I will continue to rub her while I bump her back to me with my other hand, and then when she's somewhat facing me or got her head straight and she blinks, then I'll release. It's really important to where her head is at all times. Just make sure she's good with that. I'm just going to continue this lesson in part 2.